Well, there we have it. Jon Jones is officially not a part of the UFC heavyweight title picture. As you can see right here, UFC 321 was announced along with UFC 320. We're going to get into both of those cards and what fights are going to be on the card. Stick around to hear my thoughts. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. Okay, so we'll go in chronological order. UFC 320 in October. Now, keep in mind, there is no pay-per-view in the month of September, which is rare that the UFC does a calendar month without a pay-per-view. It might be the first time they've done it like since the ESPN deal. Here we have the rematch in the same place that their first fight took place, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, a rematch of their fight from UFC 313. Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2 for the World Light Heavyweight Championship. There it is. Poaton's a massive star. He showed up for the organization on short notice a bunch of times. It was a close fight, although an underwhelming performance from Alex Pereira. The company paid him back with a rematch. It's the only fight that makes sense at light heavyweight right now for the belt. I would have been fine with a Yuri title shot, but he's actually booked on the same card against Khalil Roundtree Jr. Now, these guys are both coming off of wins over Jamal Hill. This is a #1 contenders fight. This is a contingency fight for the main event for sure. Khalil Roundtree just looked incredible against Jamal Hill. Yuri Prochazka TKO'd Jamal Hill in the third round or the second round, I believe. I think it was the third round. And now the winner of this is going to get a title shot. And this is light heavyweight for now. It is a revolving door of the same 4 guys getting title shots. And you could also throw Jamal Hill in there, 5 guys. Pereira, Ankalaev, Prochazka, Roundtree, Jamal Hill. I guess those are the guys that get title shots at light heavyweight right now. Nobody else has a chance at it besides Carlos Ulberg, and he probably still needs one more win because the Blachowicz win was not that impressive. Now, this is going to be a super exciting fight. I expect the winner to fight the winner of the main event. I'm going to take Yuri in this fight. I just don't think that Yuri is going to stand at range and allow himself to be picked apart by Khalil Roundtree the same way that Jamal Hill did. Yuri and Jamal Hill, vastly different fighters at this point in their careers. Yuri is far more dangerous. Khalil Roundtree is focused and technical and has a good strategic game plan like he did against Jamal Hill. I think Yuri's going to put that game plan to the test. He is going to force Khalil Roundtree into a firefight with a much bigger, harder hitting, and dangerous opponent than himself. I definitely am going to take Yuri Prochazka by KO or TKO in this fight. I think it's going to be a nasty fight, hard fought by both guys, but Yuri's going to get a finish in this fight. I'm very confident in that. Now, the main event, who the winner of that fight is probably going to fight, Ankalaev versus Pereira. I know I had some cope about the last fight that they had and Alex Pereira's performance at UFC 313, but I still think that that was a close fight. Pereira was definitely fatigued, run down, and had a broken hand as well and a flu. I think him at full strength with some actual time off, by the time this fight happens, it's going to have been 7 months since Alex Pereira fought, which is a long, long rest for him. Ankalaev takes a lot of time off anyway, not the most active fighter in the world. I think that this fight's going to be very similar to the first fight where Pereira defends the takedowns, but he absolutely needs to show much more of a sense of urgency to get off the fence and also to land big shots. And I think that this fight, he's going to be able to do it. That's why I am going to take Pereira by late round KO. I'm actually going to take Pereira by second round KO in this fight. As much as that might seem like Pereira glaze, something like that, this is Pereira's fight to lose, in my opinion. As much as people think, oh no, Ankalaev's got it in the bag, he won that last fight easy. This is a tough fight for him. I mean, it's a tough fight for both guys, but I think Pereira is the one that's going to pull through and have another big moment, be right back on top of the sport. And if he can beat Ankalaev and Tom Aspinall can beat Ciryl Gane, who knows? Maybe we get a super fight or we get Yuri versus Pereira 3. But I'm thinking that the winner of Yuri and Khalil Roundtree fights the winner of this fight, barring Pereira challenging Aspinall at heavyweight or something like that. The co-main event was also announced. Sick fight. The bantamweight championship matchup that most of us expected. Merab Dvalishvili against Corey Sandhagen. And while Merab is the most dominant bantamweight that we've seen in quite some time, literally leaving almost no room for doubt in his fights, Corey Sandhagen could very well be the guy to solve the Merab puzzle and be much more aggressive in the jiu-jitsu, trying to go for sweeps, or maybe trying to take Merab down himself. I could see all of those things happening. But with all of those things considered, it is Merab, and I am expecting a decision win for Merab, something like that. Corey is a lot harder guy to finish than Sean O'Malley. We saw that. Corey's been in some tough spots. He's been put in deep chokes. He's been armbarred very deep, heel hooked really deep, and not tapped. I think he's got a little bit more dog in him than Sean O'Malley. But with that said, we're still talking Merab here. And if you look at their common opponents, for example, Peter Yan, I know it was a different Peter Yan than what we see these days in terms of win-loss record. Merab dominated Peter Yan. Corey Sandhagen handedly, clearly, still competitive, but clearly lost to Peter Yan. I think this is going to be Corey trying to be aggressive, trying to be crafty, potentially snagging a couple rounds at the beginning if Merab comes off to a slow start, or if he's cautious of Sandhagen throwing the knees or the uppercuts. Sandhagen's got some good flying knees and he's got good chokes. I could see Merab kind of testing the water a little bit for the first couple rounds, losing those rounds, and from there taking over the fight. But I'm definitely expecting a 48-47 decision from Merab. So there you have it. For that card, I have Pereira KO, Dvalishvili 48-47 decision, and Prohaska KO. That's what I'm thinking for that card. But let's talk about the one that everybody was waiting to hear announced. That is the World Heavyweight Championship. Tom Aspinall, officially the undisputed champion after John Jones's retirement and unretirement very quickly after, but he lost the belt, and now it's Tom's. And Ciryl Gane is getting his third title shot in, I think, 3 years. 4 years, something like that. And I know that this seems very, very undeserved for Ciryl Gane, but there's no one else to book him against. John Jones ducked his way into retirement. And there's nobody else for Tom to fight right now, unless Pereira wins against Ankalaev and wants to move up. Ciryl Gane's 13-2, and his only career losses are John Jones and Francis Ngannou. So it's an impressive title defense to have from a resume standpoint, even if the title shot right now is undeserved for Ciryl Gane, given that he lost to Alexander Volkov in his last fight, and he still won the split decision. Now, this is going to be a big test for Tom Aspinall because this is the biggest heavyweight and most skilled heavyweight that Tom will have fought. And he's going to be a test. He's going to get tested across the board. And if he can't get Ciryl Gane down, it's going to be a long night. And this is every fight. Listen, every pro fight, every fight is a must-win fight. Unless you're Poirier at UFC 318 and you just give up in the last 10 seconds. Every fight is a must-win fight. End of discussion. But if there's one that's even more of a must-win than the typical fight, it's this fight for Tom Aspinall, because this loss to Ciryl Gane, if he was to lose, would basically mean that all of the duck talks, all of the shit we gave John Jones, all of the strip John Jones talk, the petition, all of that would be meaningless. It would be meaningless. I'm a Tom Aspinall supporter through and through. I think he's going to win this fight. But there is a way for Ciryl Gane to win. And if he does, heavyweight's just broken forever because of John Jones. So how do I see this fight going? Submission round 1 or 2. That's what I'm thinking. A little bit of gamesmanship on the feet, takedown, back take, choke for Tom Aspinall. People forget, man, that he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You also have Volkov against Jailton Almeida on the card, which is absolutely a #1 contenders fight to face the winner of this. Of course, we have possible Alex Pereira moving up. It's probably going to be the winner of Almeida-Volkov that fights the winner of this fight. But I'm pumped. Tom Aspinall is finally going to be able to be announced as the undisputed world heavyweight champion, finally get to be active. And with the current state of the heavyweight division, if he can get through this fight, and if he can get through a Pereira or a Volkov or an Almeida, we're probably looking at Tom running up title defenses till he's about 40, because the UFC heavyweight division is fucked. Unless they go and sign Francis Ngannou or bring back John Jones, there's nobody that'll touch Tom Aspinall. Now, there's my predictions for these two massive cards that got announced, both in October. The only other thing that I wanted to mention is this right here. You see it right here, this post from Happy Punch. I want you guys to look at how Dana White announces this fight. It's like John Jones did such a fucking number on him that he's not even excited to announce it. Watch here.
321, October 21st, October 25th, Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall will face Ciryl Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight. That's all I got. That's all the shit I got for you guys.
Doesn't really seem pumped to announce this. And I know there's a lot of UFC promo then versus UFC promo now going around on Instagram and Twitter. This is a heavyweight title fight for Tom Aspinall, who has become a massive star just off of Jon Jones ducking him. And Dana looks pissed to be announcing the fight. I know he wishes it was a Jones announcement, but can we get some level of enthusiasm for the card that's going to cost us $80 and cost fans in person like thousands to be at? Like, can we get a little bit of enthusiasm? You get more enthusiasm out of people like me on YouTube that are making pennies, and Dana White's making billions. I mean, he's worth billions. Dana White's making hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars, whatever it is, and he can't even get excited about the heavyweight fight. I mean, at this point, just put Hunter Campbell in there, you know? So there we have it, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below on Ankalaev Pereira rematch, Merab versus Corey Sandhagen, Yuri versus Roundtree Jr., and Aspinall versus Gane. Put your predictions in the comments down below. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month, and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.